Welcome back to another New World video. Well, actually, for a change, it's not. We're moving on to something else because New World is absolutely dead right now. There's no content coming till October the 15th, apart from a summer medley fair. So I need something to play. I need something to stream. I need something to maybe make some videos on. And it's going to be Tarisland, I'll be honest. I'm going to give you a full rundown of everything I've played in the game so far. I've been playing since launch day. Genuinely actually been enjoying the game. Didn't think I would be, just briefly looking at it before launch. But like I said, with New World being dead content right now, I want to play another MMO. I want to get involved, and I'm going to give you like a rundown and everything I've been playing and everything I've been enjoying or not enjoying to do with Tarisland. And hopefully you like my review. If you do, don't forget to like and subscribe, and come check me out playing this over on Twitch. Live, we're streaming almost every day at the minute because this game's so fun, but mostly we stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays around about 6 p.m. UK time. So let's get into Tarisland. So the reason why I mentioned New World at the start of this video is all of my YouTube videos on this channel have been about New World, so I'm guessing like quite a few of the natural audience who might find this video will watch me from New World. And then what I'll probably do is just do like a couple of mini comparisons every now and again, just since it's the most recent MMO I've played, and I've been playing that since launch for the past 3 years. So yeah, what is Tarisland? So Tarisland is just your classic MMORPG. It's on PC. Now it is available on mobile devices. I've not tried this myself. I wouldn't actually tell you to be put off by the fact that you can play this game on mobile. You can play RuneScape on mobile, for example, and there's probably the other odd game or two out there that you can as well. So I wouldn't let that put you down too much. Just ignore it if you're a PC player and you're interested in MMOs. I'd probably just focus on that. Now, obviously, this game features raids, it features dungeons. There are like, you know, the sort of diverse different classes. It's got cross-play across different servers, and then, you know, your standard like vast world to go out there and explore. This game is completely and utterly free to play. I am what 5 or 6 days into playing this game now since it launched, and I have not even been tempted to spend a single penny on the game. The targeting is tab targeting, so this isn't like a you know, an action MMORPG or even like a cross blend between tab and action. It's just pure tab targeting, so it is like the old style of MMOs. You've got servers available in Europe, Asia, Eastern Europe, North and South America. I presume this would have been pretty much global release. I've not really seen many places where it's not available. And then obviously, yeah, the game isn't on like Steam or on Epic Launcher or anything like that. You can just straight up download this from tarisglobal.com. The overall download, if you're interested, it's about a 26 gigabyte client. And ever since launch, the biggest update I've had to this is about 190 megabytes, which I think was on day 3. I don't actually know what the patch was. They didn't release any note, but 190 megabytes, we take that all day long. Again, comparing back to New World, every time that they remove a piece of content from that game at the moment, you know, there's like a 40 gigabyte update. That's ridiculous, you know what I mean? This game has got PvE and PvP. Some of the classes are, we've got Phantom Necro, we've got Shadow Swordsman, we've got Mage, we've got Priest, we've got Bard, we've got Barbarian Fighter, we've got Ranger, we've got Paladin, and we've got Warrior. Each of those classes have got their own specialization. So for example, with the Mage, which I am here, I can go both ice and I can go both fire, and there's like different perks and stuff like that. The game's also got like a main story MSQ and other standard, you know, you go fetch, go kill your MMO quests that you can imagine in any typical MMO that came out from like the early 2000s to maybe like 2012 onwards. Typical quest there. Also, it's got some of those area quests as well. Something that I experienced for the first time in Guild Wars 2. You run into an area and it just so happens to be like a gather, like, you know, huge mass gathering, or you got to kill a huge lot of mobs, hand it into that one person in the area. Multiple players all in one area can all get involved as well. So it's got some of those in there as you're running around the world. And then obviously, again, this launched on the 21st of June 2024. Now, the first biggest thing I want to talk about in terms of my review, if you like, and my thoughts on Tarisland is the time gating. I've seen an absolute mixed bag here. I've seen 50-50 in terms of people's like opinions on this, okay? So what do I mean by time gating? Okay, so it's not your typical mobile gacha game time. And you know those games where you're building a city, and it says, oh, you can't finish off building this next building for, you know, for 4 hours, or go and buy these coins and you can magically build it straight away. It's not that type of time gating. So if you ever go around another stream or a YouTube video and you hear time gating, it's not like that. It's basically staggered release of content since launch day. So picture any other MMO. We'll go back to New World, right? day one of New World, everybody just absolutely, well, not everybody, but most players absolutely fly to endgame. They skip a lot of the basic content, they spam through MSQ, they get to the endgame dungeons, and they just want to play endgame content. That makes all those earlier dungeons, picture for example like Amrine for example, which I think was like level 20. Basically you might do that dungeon once, or most people skip that dungeon and then you're done. Like you'll never go back to that dungeon. They've changed that slightly, but you get the point, right? You're skipping all of that content. You're skipping MSQs, you're skipping little quests here and there. You're not really learning the game that much in terms of like, you know, just having a small amount of content to do each day. Master that content and then move on to the next day. So how they've been doing this is basically every morning, I think it works out about 4 a.m. UK time, so BST, go convert that into your own time zone, is when they release the new content. So day one, the level cap was 20. There was like 1 or 2 dungeons in the game with some elite modes, modes, and then also there was some MSQ available, and you can trade, and you can basically play the full game up until that point, right? You can't go into the new maps. Once it made it to 4 a.m. at the end of like the first full day of the launch, the level cap went from 20 to 26. And then again, the day after, it went up to, I think it was 30, and then it went up to 34. I think it's now like 38, I think on day 5. So they are incrementally adding the content to the game. This is just something like, do you like this? Do you not like that? You know what I mean? I personally like it. I'll tell you why. I've got a full-time job. I'm not a gamer dad, do you know what I mean? But I've got a full-time job, you know what I mean? I work Monday to Friday. I work 8 till 4. And I don't really have the time unless I book it off work to go and smash an MMO for 15 hours a day. I try and play 4, 5, 6 hours a day if I can, but I don't have that time to go and smash it all on day one. And this is a way for all these people who can do that. They don't just run ahead and race ahead of the game and then you can never catch them up and it's crazy. It's actually quite good in a sense that it's a lot more casual. You play the cap, you beat the MSQ, you complete all the quests, you level up all your stuff. And then basically you wait till 4 a.m. the next day and the new content comes out. Or you spend that extra time that you've got, you go make all the other classes. Like I said, I think there's like 7 or 8 other classes. Tank roles, DPS roles, and healer roles. You can then go and use that time to go and play those other classes. And compared to other MMOs, if you picture it, you race the end game and then all of a sudden, you know, you think, oh, actually, I want to go make a mage instead. But then you've got to go and do that whole level, for example, 1 to 60 or 1 to 80, depending on what the MMO is. You've got to go and do that all over again in one big leap. This gives you like bite-sized chunks of it every day. I can't give you a specific amount of hours played of content that the game gives you daily, because it depends on your style. For example, when I stream this over on Twitch, we talk to chat quite a bit, and you know, we play around the game here and there. We test little builds and stuff, so I play it a little bit slower than, say, you know, somebody speed running through content. I'd say day one for me to complete the whole content, it probably took me like 6 or 7 hours maybe. Again, some of you guys might go and smash that in 3 or 4, depends how many dungeon runs you do and all that kind of stuff. Now onto the story. So again, this is probably the weakest area of the game in my opinion. The story, the MSQ, I'm not going to bore you with it. I'm not going to run you all through it. I'll be honest, I don't massively understand that myself. However, if you go directly to their website, there's a section up there. I'll try and put it on the screen now, and it gives you all the lore and information you need. Not gonna lie, I read the first couple of lines and I was just like, what the hell is this? But whatever. If you're interested in the lore and the story, there is a story in this game. I wouldn't say it's the most engaging, but there are tons of cutscenes in this game. When you're playing the MSQ, there's like a cutscene every 10 minutes. This is not a cutscene or story shy game. So that is in the game if you're interested. Going back on the servers as well. So as we know, there are servers in every single region. There are also, like, for example, in EU, there's EU 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. Some of those get full. So I got onto EU 2. And the way this works is, as long as you're on an EU cluster, so EU 1, 2, 3, or 4, you can play dungeons with all your friends. You can play raids with all your friends, all that kind of stuff. You just can't see your friends in the open world, and you can't join the same guild. Guilds seem to be locked per EU. So EU 1, I could make my guild here, which is called Hawkchewer. Hope you enjoy that. But then if I go on to EU2, my guild isn't there. So that's the only thing to note about the cross-server stuff. But you can play with all your friends so long as you're all on EU, or as long as you're all on NA, for example. Now, again, let's go back into this combat. All right. So as you can see on my screen here, we got 6 skills. We got 3 up here as well. I don't actually know officially what to call these. I call these like strategy skills. These can also be changed out as well. So you're not locked to the same 3. You can mix them around. The reason why you would mix them around is certain different bosses in the game and different dungeons require you to, like, what's this one here? Spell disruption. It'll auto trigger and it'll tell you, you know, the mechanic coming up, you need to sort of dispel this target, or, you know, it's going to wipe your team or whatever. So you can mix and match these around. Also, you would mix and match these around when you go into PvP. But yeah, the combat is fairly standard, fairly typical 2008, 2010, 2012. You know, when we got those batch of MMOs, there's like a new MMO every 6 months maybe, or maybe every 3 months. It's that style of combat. It's fine to play. It's not the most immersive. It's not the most exciting. But you can at least like tweak your thing. You're not just stuck to these 6 skills that you see on your screen. You can use the systems in the game to slightly tweak these skills. You can change Fireball, which you can cast like just by moving around and constantly tapping 1. You can upgrade and change that skill, so it's a channeling version of Fireball where you're stuck still while you're typing it, but it does a different type of damage. You can tweak all of your skills. It's not just a, you know, you're a mage, you press 1 2 3 4 5 in a row. It's not like that. You can diversify your skills a little bit and your builds a little bit. So yeah, keep that in mind. The combat isn't too bad. Again, not the most crazy thing out there. Mechanics wise, I'll mention in combat, if you like, mechanics are actually pretty cool. Coming from the game New World, where a lot of bosses just don't have that many mechanics, or they're pretty garbage, or you can't even see the mechanics, like you just get swiped and you're like, what the hell just happened? This has your typical MMO raid style, almost like WoW style, almost like Guild Wars 2 style. Classic, you know, the circles all over the floor. This thing, you know, there's like you know, logos that appear above your head depending on what the icon is. You might have to then go run into certain circles in the map, and then you've got to dodge certain stuff, and you know, all your typical classic MMO combat and mechanics are in this game, which is pretty good. The inscribed stone system is the one I was talking about there, where you can even buff your skills further and add dot damages and all that kind of stuff. PvE options in this game, your options are dungeons, which are 5-man, raids, which so far are 10-man. I don't know if that's going to change. And they also have solo trials, which are called Universal Hall. They're actually pretty cool. We'll talk about them in a minute. Dungeons overall, I'm a fan of. You know what I mean? They've got the normal modes of the dungeon, which you can play unlimited times. You know, you want to play that 50 times a day? You can play that 50 times a day. Then they've got like elite modes, and you can play a cap of 6 a day. Anything after 6 a day, you can still go and play with your friends or still keep running the dungeons just for experience. You just don't get any of the rewards. We'll mention the subscription system at the end of the game, but basically that's one of the only places where that comes in quite handy. It gives you a bit more runs in there. Solo trials, that goes up to level 5. And then also with the raids as well. The raids have got the challenge modes in there, which are really, really difficult. It's got the elite modes, which is a bit harder. Overall though, raids, like I said, so far in the game, we got 10-man raids. They're fun. They're a little bit more challenging than the dungeons. Plus the challenge modes in there as well, even hard. They add even more mechanics every time you up the difficulty. And one of the best things in terms of like when you do challenge mode, which is supposed to be, you know, the hardest version of the content in the game, if you're a player who just, you know, doesn't quite fancy that, that's fine. All you're missing out on is some achievements and some skins. The skins are pretty nice, by the way. Like this one I got here, this life stuff, not even life stuff, this fire stuff I got here is pretty nice. That's the first skin I've obtained in the game from achievements. But it doesn't give you out new armors and weapons and stuff like that. You're not locked out of that if you can't complete the harder content in the game, which I think is pretty cool. Now, we mentioned solo trials as well. These are fun, but they are very easy in my opinion. They are customizable. So basically you start off at level 1. You can stop whenever you want, but you want to work your way all the way to level 5. And if you, every time you complete one of the levels, you get some rewards at the end, some chests and stuff like that. Now, each time you go up a level, so from 1 to 2, there's like a point system. And basically, in order for you to enter level 2, you have to choose some debuffs or some debuffs on yourself, or some additional buffs for the boss, which you fight, which obviously makes it a bit harder. That's how you go through the incremental levels. But it's fully customizable. So my quick example was, I was always killing, the very first day I was doing this, I was always killing the boss with like 5 seconds to go. Obviously, I hadn't quite worked out my DPS and stuff like that. But the boss was never killing me, and my HP was never a problem. The boss's damage was never a problem. So in order to make it technically harder for me to get the points to get to the next levels, the next tiers, I just chose to give the boss more damage, and I got less healing, and I started with less health bar and stuff like that. Basically, it's really, really good to just customize your own content and go and get some single play rewards. If you've got no friends online at that time, I'd smash through those. They seem to rotate every couple of days as well. So different bosses, different rewards. And then moving over to PvP. So you've got like this conquer mode. The mode seems to rotate daily for what I've seen so far in game. We're about 5 days in now. Every single day, the PvP, you know, mode changes. I think it's 10v10. I couldn't quite work it out. It's either 10v10 or it's 20v20, but I'm pretty sure it's 10v10. I just never counted the last time I played. PvP is probably the least played mode for me in this game. But It's got like team versus team objectives. You've got like hold the points down, you know, fight off the other team members while you're doing it. If you cap the most points and hold them for the longest, you kind of win. There's another mode where it's just basically kill as many players as you possibly can. And then there's like defend and attack the cart. Cart's got to go from A to B. You got to defend it. They've got to attack it. You know, typical kind of PvP stuff. The only thing I'd say about this is time locked, and I don't 100% understand why. It might be because the game's developed in China, and I know China have some kind of rules where they don't like, for example, kids playing games too much. So basically, I think it's available from, I think it's like 6 a.m. in the morning or 8 a.m. in the morning until midnight. And then PvP turns off. You can't go and play PvP until the next morning. I suppose it's also a way for the absolute sweat lords who will just grind that 24/7. They can't grind it 24/7. So you'll never be like too far behind the people who can play a lot of PvP. So I don't know what you guys think about in the chat about that system, but that's how they do it. There's no open world PvP that I've seen though. I will mention that. Crafting's got 4 choices. You got forge, you got jewelry, you got tailor, you got alchemist. And basically, if you can imagine crafting a complete set of gear from head to toe, all that gear in terms of what you can craft is split in between those different 4 crafting choices. Also, the game quite nicely tells you the split on the server. It seems to always say 25, 25, 25. I don't know if that's just a bug or whether literally everyone is evenly picking it, but I suppose it could be quite cool in the future if you jump on a server and you can see that 10% of people are alchemists. That might be a moneymaker there for you by choosing that one. And then the only thing I will say about crafting that is a little bit annoying, a little bit time gated, is the Vega system. So basically every time that you gather, which is really annoying, or every time that you refine, or every time that you craft, you use this points currency, and there's a lot of points currency systems in this game called Vega. Once you run out of Vega, you can no longer carry on crafting. You can't go gather, you can't go refine, you can't go making more gear, right? So in order to get your Vega back up, there's a couple different ways. There's multiple different ways to earn rewards in the game, and some of those rewards are straight up Vega pots, like here's 50 more Vega, here's 100 more Vega. And Vega also basically comes back to you over time. This is like a mobile-y system, definitely. You think about those typical mobile games. You know, every sort of whatever it is, couple of minutes. I think it's every 15 minutes you get a Vega back. You can level that up. So then every like 12 minutes you get a Vega back. Every 8 minutes you get a Vega back. And then obviously that subscription system coming in as well. There's a little bonus in there where every time you use 100 Vega in crafting, you get 10% back and little things like that. But be wary about that. This isn't a game where easily you can just sit there and craft 24/7. You know, you can't, like, there are limits, and that Vega system is a way to sort of like hold you back a little bit frustrating. I would understand if some crafters, crafting heavy players don't like that system. And then coming over to this monetization again that we were speaking about there, is this game pay to win? I'll be honest, I heard about this game being pay to win before I ever played it, you know, just through skimming through some YouTube videos, off commenting people's streams who maybe tried the game early. I'm on day 5. What are we now? I think we're Tuesday today. I'm on day 5. Game came out on Friday. I've not spent a penny in the game. I've not come close to spending a penny in the game. I'll be honest though, the closest I've come to spending money in the game is the monthly ticketing system for, I think it's like £4.99 or €4.99. And I'll be honest, the only reason why I've even thought about paying that is I'm playing this game for free. And guys, it's pretty decent. It's pretty fun. It's not bad. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying it. It's filling my time while there's no new world content or active creation in the future. Do you know what I mean? So a part of me wants to subscribe to this game for $5.90 or $4.99 just to sort of give back to the game a little bit because it's given me, you know, something decent to play. But yeah, so the monetization of the game is basically mostly from selling you skins, right? And the skins look pretty good in this game. Going back to New World, look, I'm not dissing out anybody here at New World, but the skins in New World don't stick out. You know what I mean? Like if you buy a skin on the market, you could walk past 50 people with that skin and you don't notice it. The skins in this game, if you walk past somebody and they bought one of those, you know, the big skins that we show you in the shop there, but you stick out like crazy. You know what I mean? Your weapon sticks out like crazy. We got this one from the Elite Raid. We beat the Elite 10-man raid, and we got this purple staff. That will now stick out because every other mage in the game will have the default blue one. Does that make sense? So the skins in this game are actually pretty good. And look, if it offends you that a game sells skins, sure. Whatever. There are also ways to get skins in this game for free. And then also there is a system which I've not quite mastered yet, but there are, like I said, multiple currencies in game. You can use in-game currency to buy the subscription. And if we talk about all of the perks you get, they're all listed here on screen. I'll try and pop it up for you so you can see. Most of it is a little bit trivial, but there are some bits and bobs in there. So you've got like daily activity battle pass increase. I've not bought the battle pass, so so I just used the free version. You do get a slight increase in Tarisland chests. These give you some of those gems in there that you can just add to your gear to slightly buff it, or to slightly buff up your skills. We're not talking about anything groundbreaking at the minute. Tax rate as well when you're trading, so all the items that you can trade, you can sell on the trading post. That's another currency. Basically everything you craft, you can sell on the trading post, and you can buy over it's its own currency. It's crazy. It's mad how it works, but it's actually kind of nice. It kind of like puts every currency into their own sort of like avenues, if you like. And then obviously you can list more items that's in there. You know, your warehouse feature for your guild storage, that's you know, comes in there. And then this one here, 10 Vigor is returned for every 100 Vigor spent when crafting. We mentioned that before. And then there's also these arcane realm stones you can get. So far, I'll be honest, I wouldn't call this the world's craziest pay to win game. It's not a gacha game. It's not a, you know, a Genshin Impact or anything like that. We're talking about it's not even $4.99. It's $4.89 actually. $4.89 for the month. You do get some bits and bobs. You would call this minor pay to win, of course. You're not getting nothing for free here. You are paying and getting some currency in game and some tax rebates and stuff like that. It's not crazy. The only reason why I'm showing you this is I've seen a lot of people slate this game for pay to win, and I just don't think it's that crazy. And then again, guys, going into my overall thoughts on this game, I'm going to be honest. Okay, so I've not played it on mobile, so I'm not going to judge that. I'm going to forget the fact that this game is even available on mobile. I've never even spoke to anybody who said they played on mobile. I've never played with somebody in game where you're like, that's clearly a mobile player. So I'm just going to ignore that, okay? Maybe if you're the kind of guy who wants to go and do a bit of crafting while just sat on the couch on your phone, great for you. In terms of playing this game on a PC, right? Is this as good as your World of Warcraft, your New World, your Black Desert Online, your Guild Wars 2? Sure, not quite. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say this game is groundbreaking. I'm going to say it's ridiculously good or it's amazing or whatever. But you know what it is? It's a bit of a gap in the market right now. There's no huge MMOs with big content that's out right now. We've got a 3 or 4 summer month lull almost. I mean, I don't really play Destiny. I know that's got some content, but other than that, the proper big MMOs or potentially big MMOs, because New World's not big, don't have any content out right now. And I'm just enjoying this game. I'm enjoying playing the different builds. I'm enjoying speccing out my different perks and stuff. And it's just, honestly, guys, I'm enjoying it, and it's free. All I'm going to say to you now is if you got to the end of this video, first of all, let me know in the comments. Say I got to the end of this video. I appreciate that if you did. But if you've not played this game, and one of the reasons you've not played this game is you've come across an incredibly negative YouTube review of this game, or a Twitch streamer or whatever, and they're just bashing the game. All I'm going to say is, for once, right, don't take their opinions at full, okay? Maybe they got some other things going on why they're trying to hate a bit on this game. I'm not going to shield for this game. I'm not going to say this game is world class. I would probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10 for an MMO. It's pretty decent. The systems look okay. We're nowhere near end game, and I'm still having so much fun. I would give it a go. It's free. Go download it. It's completely free. Like, why would you not just give this game a go? And the only other thing I would say is, if you're gonna load into this game took me 3 or 4 hours before I was like, yeah, you know what, I kind of enjoy this game. The first 3 or 4 hours I was just streaming it because I had nothing else to play that day, and I was like, we'll give it a go like everybody else is. And then I was like, wait, this game's actually quite decent once you start getting to the dungeons and the raids and the, you know what I mean, you're swapping out all your gear, and it's not bad. It's decent, okay? I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10, but that's a positive 6.5 out of 10, okay? That's 6.5 points gained, not 3.5 points lost, okay? So there's my overall review of the game, just bringing out some basics in the game as well to show you guys if you've never heard of this game, you've never seen about it. But yeah, overall, I'm gonna make a couple more YouTube videos on this. I'm not gonna be quitting the New World content. I'm just waiting for more content to come out. So if you're a New World subscriber here, you know, stick around. Please don't leave the channel. If you're a potential Tarisland or other MMO YouTube viewer, feel free to subscribe, drop a like, comment down below, and also, guys, come and keep me company playing this on Twitch. It's hard when you stream the same game for 3 years and you jump to another game and most of your viewer base disappears. It'll be nice for you guys, if you're enjoying the game or learning the game, to come and check me out over on Twitch. Jump in the chat, drop a follow, let's talk about the game, let's learn it a bit more, and let's play it for what it is. It's a decent little MMO. It's not bad. But there we go, guys. I'll see you in the next one.